as we know, Java is a general purpose programming language. Okay, this is a general purpose programming language. Okay, general purpose meaning is you can develop any application using Java. Whatever type of application you want to develop, you can develop using Java language. It is not actually domain specific. It is a general purpose. Domain specific examples you can take as HTML is a domain specific language. JavaScript to some extent domain specific, that is. Okay, so here when you talk about Java, it is a general purpose programming language, got introduced in 1995 by James Gosling. The author of the Java was actually James Gosling. Java, I cannot say it as a language, but that is a project. Okay, it is developed by number of people. So team, they developed Java language. Initially, they wanted to call it as Oak, okay, because the James Gosling used to develop this particular Java platform. By sitting in his office, just opposite to his office, there is an oak tree. So by looking at oak tree, he used to do, so he wanted to name it as Oak. Okay, and one more thing is, initially, he wanted to develop Java for like smart TVs. Okay, but at the time we did not have smart TVs, so they converted into a general purpose programming language. So if it is a smart TVs, then it is nothing but actually embedded program. You take the program and you embed in the machine there. Okay, but now Java is basically a general purpose programming language. Whatever you want to develop, you can develop in the Java. So it has got a history of about 30 years. In 1995, very first version we got. So since then, it is evolving like anything. In the enterprises, it is used widely across US, particularly in the US and in Canada, Java is used mostly. Okay, so when it comes to Java language features, first of all, Java is statically typed language.
Hey,
So it is a statically typed language. Okay, second thing is Java is case sensitive. Java is here case sensitive. And next thing, Java is here object oriented. Okay, Java is object oriented. Then in the Java platform, basically Java programs are compiled and interpreted. Compiled and interpreted. Okay. So first of all, Java is statically typed language, Java is case sensitive, Java is object oriented, and Java programs are compiled as well as interpreted. So what is a statically typed language? Unlike JavaScript or unlike Python, this is a statically typed language. Before you use any variable in the Java, first you need to assign a type of data to variable. Okay, so you need to declare a variable first, associating with certain type, then you can assign values to that. Okay, so first of all, when you declare a variable, you need to give a type to it, then you can assign a value. So this is called as statically typed. Sometimes it supports even dynamic features. Okay, but most of the time it is a statically typed language. Like for example, you take the JavaScript, you can write something like this, var x. Okay, then later on x equal to, you can write 100, or you can write x equal to something like welcome. You can write something like this in the JavaScript. Same thing in the Python. If you take Python, suppose you have y, this is what JavaScript this is. This is in JavaScript. Okay. When it comes to Python, how it is seen? So in Python, it is going to be like this. You have a variable called, straight away you write y equal to something like 100. then you can write here y equal to welcome. Okay, so here we are not associating any particular type particular type of data to variable. Initially we have 100, we changed it to string type of data. So this is called as dynamic typing, and this is also nothing but dynamic typing. So type is getting inferred when you assign a value. But in the JavaScript, first you need to declare variable, then you can assign. So without declaring variable, you can't assign. If you try to assign like that, that gives error. So where x you have written the JavaScript, x is 100, x equal to welcome. So this is what basically a dynamically typed language. Okay. And here it is, and one more thing, this is a loosely typed language. And in the Python also same thing is happening, dynamically typed as well as loosely typed. Okay. And this is not strictly typed language. That means you have initially assigned x equal to 100, later on you are changing to welcome. This is what integer type of data, and this is here string type of data. In the Python is same thing is happening here. Y equal to 100 initially we assigned, later on we changing it to welcome. So in both the cases, types are getting changed. Whenever you assign a value, automatically type is getting inferred. In contrast to this, when you go with the Java, how it is seen. You declare a variable called int a, then this equal to 100 you can write. Now if you try to assign a equal to something like welcome, it does not accept. Does not accept. Okay, reason, it is a strictly typed language. First of all, strong typing is required here. Int a equal to 100. Okay, so this is not correct here. When you try to write here, it is not correct because you can't assign here a string data type to integer type of data. Similarly, you cannot write something like this here. If you write a equal to 100, so this will not work here. It will not work because it will not work here. Why it does not work? Reason, you haven't declared first of all variable. Okay, without declaring a variable, you are trying to assign, this will not work. Okay, so like this, Java is basically a strongly as well as strictly typed language. Okay, so if you see here, when you try to write a equal to welcome, this is not correct reason. A is integer type of data. You're trying to assign here a string data. So this is wrong. So like this is what here, statically typed language, then case sensitive. For example, take here in the Java, you can write something like this, int a. Similarly, you can go here with a. These two are different variables. A is uppercase, A is lowercase. So these two are different variables, but both of them can hold integer type of data. They are going to hold integer type of data, both uppercase A as well as lowercase a. Okay, so in the Java, these things you have, it is case sensitive. It does differentiate between uppercase and lowercase. Same thing happens in the Python as well as in the JavaScript. I'm comparing languages. So same type case sensitivity you find in C, in the C++, in C#, okay, in JavaScript. But when you look at basic language, you take basic or QBasic or VB, Visual Basic, or if you go with the VBA, that we use within our Excel sheet, in PowerPoint, in Word, they are called as macros. Okay, we write macros in them. They are written using VBA. Okay, Visual Basic for applications. Even if you look at VB.NET, they don't support actually. They are not case sensitive. They are case insensitive. But as far as Java is concerned, it is case sensitive. That means it does differentiate between uppercase and lowercase. Okay. Next thing is Java is object oriented. I think I shared some document yesterday. Please go through the document, try to understand from that concepts. So Java is object oriented. Unlike Python or unlike C, in the Python, you need not write everything in terms of classes. Okay, in the C language, you cannot use any OOPS features by default. Okay, inherently, it does not support object-oriented features. If you want to develop something on your own related to OOPS, you can develop in the C as well. But you need to put a lot of effort for that. Okay, similarly, you look at C++. C++ you can use as a procedural language or like an object-oriented language. That is up to you. Okay, so but in the Java, you have to do everything in terms of classes and objects because it is 100% object-oriented, like C# or like VB.NET. So this is what exactly object-oriented programming language. When you talk about object-oriented programming language, here we talk about classes, we talk about objects, we talk about polymorphism, we talk about method overriding, overriding as well as overloading. then operator overloading, okay, inheritance, so encapsulation. We come across those words when it is object-oriented programming language. And one more feature is Java programs are compiled as well as interpreted. So initially you write code using, say for example, x.java. To convert that into bytecode file, you need to compile. So once compiled, you get bytecode file. In the target machine, when you want to execute it, you need to use the interpretation process. Okay, so I mean, to develop Java applications, you require JDK, and to run them, we require JRE and JVM. So these tools are required. When you download JDK, automatically JRE and JVM are available in that. Because as a developer, you need to write code, you need to test it. Okay, so for that purpose, you have JDK. In the JDK, JRE and JVM is available. But when you deploy your application in the client computer, so there we don't require JDK, just JRE and JVM are sufficient. We need to deploy JRE as well as JVM. Then your application can be interpreted or executed in the client's computer. Developers develop applications in their computer. Then after that, they package it. That means MSI package or other install shield. With the help of that, you create an installer application. So when we deploy that, you need to have their Java runtime environment or JVM. Both are required, sorry. JRE and JVM, both of them are required in the client computer. But when you are developing applications, you need to have the JDK. So JDK stands for here Java Development Kit. Okay, when we talk about JDK, there are certain tools you have in the JDK. So those tools are like Java C. This is nothing but compiler. Okay, compiler. You have Java. This is what exactly? It is a program executor. Similarly, you have here Java P. This is called as Java debugger. Sorry, this is Java P is Java disassembler. Okay, Java, it is called as disassembler. Similarly, we have here Java doc. Okay, with the help of that, you can create the documentation. Okay, so to create documentation, we create a documentation with this. Create documentation. Okay. Similarly, you have here J shell. So this is Java shell. We have a Java shell. There are many tools, but these are very, very important tools. You have Java shell. And one more thing is here, JDB. This is called as Java debugger. Okay, this is called as here Java. So using Java C, you can compile. That means source code you take and convert into bytecode file. And to execute bytecode file, we need to have Java interpreter. So that's why we call Java as both here compiler as well as interpreter. In the developer machine, it is compiler process. It's a compiling process. But when we execute in the client machine, it is called as interpretation. Okay, so Java is both compiler as well as interpreter. When in the developer machine, when you create application and when you want to convert that into bytecode files, you have to compile it using Java C. Okay, but to execute your project, you need to have their Java. With the help of Java, you can execute. Java P is basically Java disassembler. You have a bytecode file. In the bytecode file, first of all, you have a source code. Source code we convert to bytecode file. Okay, suppose you want to get back from the source bytecode file, the source, you can go with the Java P, which is called as Java disassembler. That means from the bytecode file, we can get the source code. Okay, from the given bytecode file, we can get back the source code. Similarly, you have Java doc. This is basically for creating the documentation. Suppose you write some code. Okay, in the code, you maintain different types of comments. Single line comment, multi-line comment. These comments are fine when somebody is going through your application, they can understand the comments. But suppose a person cannot see the code, but still they want to use. Suppose you are building some library, that library has to be used by somebody else. Okay, So the other person doesn't have any exposure to your code. That means the person cannot see your code, but your libraries the person can see. To use that library in their application, they need to have some documentation. It is something similar to like reference manuals we create. For example, take some electronic device. Okay, in that you have so many components. You are assembling. When you're trying to assemble, you go through the reference manual. As per that, you are going to assemble it. In the same manner, here we need to do. So in the Java also, you may build some libraries. That library may be used by somebody else. Okay, so you have partial functionality, but somebody else actually is trying to create a full-blown application. In such case, they want to use your tools. It may be commercial or it may be free. So when they want to use your tools, they need to know what are the classes available, what are the methods available, how to integrate them. Then only they can integrate. Something like here, electronic components. For example, take a computer. To assemble computer, you require different components like CPU you require, SMPS you require, monitor you require. Okay, similarly, drives are required. Okay, heat sinks are required. All these are required. So how to assemble them? Through the manual only, through reference manual, you understand that, then you try to integrate it. In the same manner, you can compare Java program, software applications also like a hardware applications. In the same manner it is. Here, whatever code you develop may be a component. That component somewhere else in some other program they want to use. So in such case, reference manuals are required. Such manuals you can create using Javadoc. Otherwise, developers, they write the code. To create the documentation, you need to hire some like reference manual creator. Okay, so that person has to sit along with the developer. That person has to understand, then that person can actually create the documentation. It is going to be time wasting process and expensive. So instead of that, when developers they are writing code, at that time only, if they put the documentation comments, automatically it can create the documentation. So that's what basically is documentation that you can do with the help of the Javadoc. Similarly, you have here JShell. So JShell is nothing but Java shell. It is called as REPL basically, REPL. Read, evaluate, print, loop it is. REPL is nothing but read, evaluate, and other thing is what? Print loop. So suppose you want to write some code. Normally, to test functionality, you create entire application, then you need to test it. So instead of that, using JShell, small code chunks you can create, whether they are working correct or not, you can check it. That means you are trying to do some here unit testing also. Okay, for unit testing purpose, you can use JShell. Similarly, you have a JDB. So with the help of that, you can debug the code. So debugging is a good practice actually. When your application is running, okay, how at each and every step, what is happening, you can understand with the help of the debuggers. So these are the tools today we discuss. Java is compiler. Java is nothing but actually you can it can execute a Java program, or it can execute a Java bytecode file. And with help of the Java P, we can disassemble. Okay, that means what? It can create you the source code again from the, if it is not obfuscated. Obfuscation is a process with the help of that. When somebody is trying to debug, when somebody is trying to convert this, get the source code, it's not possible there. So if it's not obfuscated, then in such case, you can get the source code. Similarly, using Javadoc, you can create the documentation. So using JShell, you can launch a Java shell. So through that, you can execute some commands. Okay, when you're developing a big application, you may be having number of functions in that, or number of classes. So what each and everything is doing, you have to unit test. Okay, so for that purpose, first you need build application, then you need to test. Instead of that, whatever function you want to write, in the JShell you can write and you can test it. So that way, what code you are going to incorporate into your application, you can test here. If it's working fine, then you can incorporate in the given application. Similarly, JDB is nothing but Java debugger. Debugging meaning is nothing but here you go through line by line in the application. What is happening in the application, we can understand. And everyone should have actually very good debugging techniques. Not only code writing techniques. When something is going wrong, we should be in a position to very quickly understand what is happening, where the problem is. Once you understand problem, providing a solution is simple, in fact. Okay, even in developing applications, if you understand the requirements properly, developing application is very simple. Most of the projects, they fail because of improper requirements. Okay, when requirements are not proper, then projects fail. And other thing is like, whenever your requirements are fine, then everything can be properly. So with the help of the JDB, you can trace things, what is happening, where something is going wrong. When something is going wrong, immediately you can rectify. Writing code can be simple only. So these tools, about them we discuss. Okay, first of all, come to command prompt here. Either you can use Eclipse IDE or you can do from command prompt. But when you use Eclipse IDE, it is going to be automated. Most of the things are automated, and it's more and more comfortable. With this, what happens? Your productivity can improve. When you have some errors, immediately it's going to show. That process is called as linting. Sometime back, I shared some document related to linting here. So linting is nothing but it can, give some hints to us. When you declare a variable you are not using, or similarly, some syntax is wrong. In such case, with the help of the linting, you can find the errors in the code. So they are incorporated automatically in the Eclipse. So we can simply use them. With the help of that, your productivity can be improving. Okay, so next thing is here, let us launch actually yesterday's application. It is second application. Okay, we have here a package called MyFirst. Then we have second Java. So Java programs are basically divided into modules called packages. A package is nothing but a container that can contain similar classes. Okay, package name and folder name must be same. Package name and folder name must be same. Okay, so followed by here, in the packages, you can put the similar classes. For example, take java.io. IO meaning is what? Input and output. Whatever operations you want to perform for input and output. That means creating a file, saving a file. So such things can be called as here IO operations. So all the IO related classes we put under java.io, that is called as a package there. And Java is top level package, and in that you have a IO. So like this, you are going to maintain the packages. A package can contain other package inside that. Such packages are called as nested packages. Packages can be nested together. Okay, so basically your program is going to be in the form of package. Okay, so for every project, you should have a package, or you may have number of projects in that. You may have top level project. In that you may have child packages or nested packages. A package contains similar classes. Okay, here package name is what? MyFirst, and here program name is what? Second.java. So let me open this. When I open here, you get something like this. So what we are getting here, this is not automatically coming up. I created this. Okay, I only have created. You can see here, you have in this different types of comments. You have here different types of comments. So when you go here, before the class, if you put something like this, this is called as a documentation comment. This is called as here documentation comment. Okay. Similarly, a documentation comment you can use before the class name or before the method name. Okay, before a class name or before method name you can do, but inside a method, either you can use single line comment or you can use here multi-line comment. Something like this you can do here. So this is multi-line comment. Okay, this is called as here multi-line comment. So what is happening in this? We are writing here three types of comments. First one is documentation comment, and next thing is what here? It's a single line comment here. Then this is nothing but multi-line comment. So whatever is put in this, automatically this can create a documentation for us. So it is going to create some reference manual for us in the form of HTML pages. So what I do here, I'm going to create some documentation. Okay, for this, I can create a documentation. Either you can do from command prompt or you can do from the Eclipse. Okay, you can do from the Eclipse as well. To create the documentation, we use the Java doc here. Okay, so now whenever I want to execute this, I click on the run. When I go with the run here, it is getting compiled as well as it's getting interpreted. Okay, it's getting compiled and the bytecode file is getting here like interpreted. I enter my name, something like this, I enter here. So what it says here, welcome AS Rao. So the two strings are concatenated. It's showing here the result. Okay, so it is both compilation as well as interpretation. So it is using internally like Java-C as well as Java, because JDK contains both the Java-C compiler, Java interpreter. Along with that, even you find some other tools as well. Okay, so here now what happened exactly? The program executed, but before that, here it's creating some bytecode file. So let us go to that and see here. So it is in the Java FS. Folder name is here, Java FS. Let us go into Java FS folder and see here the second application. So in the second application, you have here a bin folder. In the bin folder, a package created, you have here second dot class. So it is available. Now I want to get the source code of this. Okay, here this is a bytecode file. I don't have any source code here. Source code is available here in this. So where exactly source code is available in the SRC folder, this is available. Okay, you have in the SRC folder that particular thing. Now I want to create here. I want to create create source code from the bytecode file. Bytecode files have an extension .classes. Source code files have extension .java. Remember this. Okay. So first thing is what? .java. This is Java. This is Java source code file. Java source code file. Okay. This is what exactly dot followed by here CLASS. This is a bytecode file. It is called as bytecode file. When we compile, automatically the bytecode file gets created when there are no errors. If you have errors, it can't create, but if you don't have any errors, this is going to be created. A bytecode file is created. So this bytecode file we execute using Java. Okay, so .java, it is nothing but source code file. .cls is nothing but here a bytecode file. Automatically, when you compile, you get the .cls file. How many classes are there? That many class files are going to be getting created. Okay, here we have only one class. Because of that, we may find only one bytecode file. Now let us try to convert this back to the source code. So for that, I go to command prompt. Then here, just go to G, then CD, followed by Java FS. Okay, then here inside this, I have a folder called second application. Okay, this is second application. In the second application, you find the bin folder as well as the SRC folder. Just go to bin folder. In this, you have a project called now. In this, you have a package called, what's the package name? MyFirst. CD, then MyFirst. So inside this, you find a class file. Now I want to get the source code from this. So what I do here, Java P followed by here, I give this one as second .class. What you are getting in this? You are getting source code here. Public class MyFirst.second. Okay, package name is MyFirst. In that, second is a class. It is giving here public MyFirst.second. Okay, that is what it is actually a method constructor. This is similarly inside this you have a main method that you are getting. So this process called as basically Java P. It is called as disassembling. From the bytecode file, you are getting the source code. Not all code you are going to get actually. It is going to give you what are the constructors you have in that, what are the methods you have in that, it's going to give you. So using Java P, what you do exactly, you are going to disassemble the bytecode file. We are disassembling the bytecode file in this using the Java P command. So by using Java P, we could get back from the bytecode file the original source code here. We are getting the source code here. With switches, you can get more and more information. But just today we discuss about, this much only. So Java P second.classes is giving you here the source code. Basically, this is second.cls is a bytecode file. Okay, but from this, what is the source code we have? It is giving us. So Java P is again a command line tool. With the help of this, you are going to disassemble the bytecode file into source code file. So it is not, it's not getting saved in any file, but it's shown in the console here. So when you give one argument like Java P followed by second.class, it is shown to you on the screen, and this is called as a console. Okay, so this is exactly Java P. Next one, let us see how documentation we can use from the Eclipse. Okay, I go to this point here. I go to this point. Then here in this, go with the export. Okay, so export, then I choose the package in this. My first package I choose here. So I click on the my first here, then I go to the file, then here export. Okay, I want to get here Java documentation. Then go with the next. So second application for this, I would like to create the documentation, and the documentation is getting created in the second application doc folder. We have already bin folder, SRC folder. In the documentation folder, it's going to be getting created for us. So click on the next, then here, go with this, check this here, then what it's going to create, see, you can put some documentation title, okay, generate use page, generate hierarchy tree, generate navigation bar, generate index, so author name, version name, okay, so like this, it is going to be generating for us. Now click on the next, then try to here finish it. So this is creating for us the required documentation. Let us go to the folder and see. We go to this, there is the documentation folder. You can find something like this. If you click on the index, you get here the package name, package my first. And when you click on the second class, it is going to give you the documentation for the second class. Okay, it has in this case one method called as main method. Okay, so it's having here one method called main method, and it has a constructor second. Similarly, I have certain features like this. So this is what public class second extends object. This program implements an application to take an input and concatenate given input with some other string and print. Okay, so comments make the code readable and easy to understand. So this is what since 2024 7.6, okay, 22 version, this is author is AS Rao, like this is creating. Let us go to source code and see in this. I have kept something like this here. Okay, I'm keeping something like this here. So 2 has come twice here. Let me remove that. So second class, this is class name. In the H2, this is nothing but HTML page is getting created for us. This program implements an application to take an input and concatenate given input with some other string and print. Okay, so whatever we gave here, we are getting them. If you see, whatever I have given there, it is trying to show here. So this is what basically Java documentation is. This is called as here Java documentation. Okay, so now using Java doc tool, you can do even from command prompt you can do, or you can incorporate this in the Eclipse. In the Eclipse, we need to go to file, and here in the file, you need to go with export. So from export, you need to do it. You can choose here Java doc, then you can go with the next. And if you want to put some title, you can put, then ultimately this can create for you the required documentation. Okay, so Java doc you can use like that. But here you need to understand these tags, they are very important. In the coming sessions, we discuss more and more about it. Just I am giving you overview of Java tools today. Okay, so next thing is what you have here, Java shell or JShell. We have here a tool called JShell. With the help of JShell, what we do here now see. Just 1 minute, I want to take one glass of water. Okay, so let me launch here JShell. It is nothing but command shell. So I just type here JShell. You get something like this here. Now you get a JShell prompt. Okay, suppose you want to declare a variable. Variables can be scrap variables, or you can have here other types of variables like named variables. Okay, you can have here 2 different types of variables in this. You can create different types of variables in this. Okay, either like so here what I do, I can write int var equal to, int n equal to some 100. It is a named variable. Okay, so here n goes to 100, like this we got. So this is called as here a named variable. Then I write here p equal to some 20 here. Okay, so this is error, or just I put here 10 plus 12. 10 plus 12 is going to be evaluated 22, but where that is going to be getting saved, it is going to save in the $2. Okay, it's going to be getting saved in the $2. Okay, so like this, scratch variable is getting created. So it is called a scratch variable, $2 equal to 22. So as long as this session is available, it's going to be, we are going to maintain the $2 there. Similarly, the named variable, int n equal to 100. Okay, suppose I want to here define some function, whether the function works correct or not, I need to see there. So therefore, I can write this way, int, then followed by sum. Okay, then here, just want to go with the int a, then int b. Okay, int b. Then here, I would like to define it this way, return followed by a plus b. Like this, I define a function. Then I want to see whether it's working correct or not. Okay, what happened here? A method called sum is created for me. Now I want to get the sum of it. So therefore, I can invoke in this manner sum followed by 10, 12. So what it gives, see here, it is stored in the $4. Okay, one more variable got created. It is called as here $4. It is a scratch variable. Now I want to print it. So to print it, what I should use? System dot, then out dot println. Then here I can go with the $4. So it is going to be printing for me the result. See what it is printing here, 22. So like this, we can use the JShell. You can use JShell, whether something is working correct or not. If it's working correct, then in such case, you can incorporate this code in the, your actual program. So like this, you can use the JShell. So JShell is nothing but here Java shell, like Python. In the Python, you have a Python shell. In the .NET, when you work with the C#, you have actually top level statements. In the same manner, we have here JShell. So with the help of the JShell, simple code blocks you can create here, and whether they are working correct or not, you can find. So this is called as a command line tool, JShell here. So using JShell, what I do here, first of all, I created a variable int n equal to 100. Similarly, I have created something like p equal to 20, so it is giving error. But when I write here 10 plus 12, it's giving $2. Variable name is what here? $2. So this is a scratch variable. Okay, it's a scratch variable. Similarly, I created here one method called int sum. So method name is what? Sum, and it's returning integer value. I'm passing two parameters a and b. So return a plus b. That means whatever values you pass there. In the sum method, I'm passing here 10, 12. When I evaluate that, or when I call that particular function, where the value is getting saved in some scratch variable, so it's nothing but $4. So like this, it's getting saved. When you want to print it, you can go with the system.out.println followed by $4. When you give, it's printing 22. So like this, you can be using the JShell. So JShell is nothing but here Java command line shell. So you can, execute simple functions or certain expressions. Before you incorporate it in the actual code, you can do. So this you can think as something like unit testing, not exactly unit testing, but something like unit testing. You can think that way. So JShell is nothing but you can, when you install JDK, automatically this is available to you. Okay, in the command prompt, when you type JShell, it is going to be available. Then you can evaluate like these various expressions. You can declare even variables. You can define methods and you can execute them. So in the first case, what happened here? I am declaring a variable int n 100. In the next case, I am trying to assign some value to 20 without giving particular type to p. It's nothing but error. Because Java is what exactly? Strongly typed language and strictly typed language. When you simply assign p equal to 20, you haven't specified anything regarding the type of p. But you're trying to assign value 20, so that's nothing but error. Okay, it's going to be error. Similarly, here I'm writing 10 plus 12. 10 plus 12 is nothing but mathematical expression. It is going to evaluate to 22. So, but where the value is going to be saved in the $2, so it's going to be creating a scratch variable. In that, it will be saved. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to int sum, here followed by two parameters I'm giving there, int a, int b, then return a plus b. So this is called as basically method declaration. Okay, declaration as well as definition. Method declaration is nothing but here int sum, int a, int b. When you say this is called a declaration. Okay, but when you write some code within the curly brackets, this is called as definition. You are declaring a method and you are actually defining it. Then after that, we can call the method here sum 10, 12. So when you define something like this, result you are getting, but where result you are going to save, you are going to save in the scratch variable called $4. So these are automatically created for us. Now even if I can invoke the this sum 10 to somewhere else also. I can go here with the int, then x equal to, I can write this as sum 10, 12. Like this also, it can be written. Now one more variable is available to me. That variable is what exactly? X. Okay, the variable is x here. Now I can print. I can write here system dot followed by out dot println. Println is nothing but a function. With the help of that, you can print something on the screen. Okay, out is basically monitor. In is going to basically keyboard. Okay, they are called as console. So they are nothing but console. So input console is keyboard, output console is here, like screen. Even console for error is also default. Console for error is again screen only. Whenever you have any error, it comes on the screen. So system.out.println, I want to go here with the X. It should be printing here 22 for us. This is printing 22. So like this, you can be using the JShell. Okay, so JShell is incorporated a few years before actually, but many they don't use it. But really, this is going to be very, very useful if you use the JShell. So before you actually incorporate any code into your application, you can test here. If it's working fine, then you can incorporate. It's a kind of actually unit testing. So JShell also you must use. Okay, next thing is what here? Java debugger, that we see little later. Now let us come into this code here. Okay, let us create here one more application. Okay, we are going to create here some other application. So I just don't want to save this. Now I go here with the another application, go with the new here, Java project, and give here new name. So I want to name this as here third. Project name is here third. Default location where exactly? In my workspace it's coming. Java FS is workspace. In the last session, we were discussing about workspace. A workspace is nothing but a folder. Okay, it's nothing but a folder. So in that folder, all your projects are going to be getting saved. So this is what third is another project I'm trying to make. And this is going to use the JRE environment, Java SE, then 2022, it is taking here. Then we come to this point, then followed by next step, we go here. And this is going to have a folder structure like project name is third, then SRC we have here. Okay, then this is what the output folder is bin. That means when you compile your application, the class file is going to the bin folder. Okay, next thing is finish here. We have created a template here, a folder structure we created. So we haven't written any code in that. You can go with the third here. Then SRC folder you have here. In the SRC folder, let me add a new class. I'm adding a new class. So class name is nothing but here sample. Again, I want to make this as here sample. So this is what is a public class. It's nothing but here a public class. So super class is going to be java.lang.object. That means all classes, they are going to inherit from the java.lang.object. And I want to put some package name here. Okay, I want to put the package name as here third. I want to name it as third. So therefore, in the SRC folder, a package name, a folder called third gets created. And in the third folder, you have the class name called sample you have. And I want to have a main method in this. I want to have a main method in this. Then click on the generate comments also. I can go here. Automatically comments can be generated. Then click on the finish here. So what is happening here? Stubs for comments are getting created. Okay. So the stub is created for comments. Here you can fill. If you want to fill something, it can be filled here. So comments are getting created automatically for us in this. Next thing is here, you have to here write some code. Okay. In this program, what I want to do, I want to input two numbers from keyboard, add them and show the result. I would like to input some numbers from keyboard. Then I want to add them, and I want to here like print the result. So before I write, I can do something here. I can go to JShell. In the JShell, I can do it. So how to read basically the data from keyboard? For that purpose, you require first of all a scanner. So let me write here, write like this, scanner followed by object scan. This is equal to here new scanner. Okay, then followed by system.in. Like this, I create here scanner object. We created now a object scan object. So this is nothing but here object. It has created a it has created a object called object scan. It is also variable, you can think, but this is the reference type of variable. Now I want to input something. I want to input two numbers. Okay, so just write here like this object scan, then dot here followed by next int. I want to call something like this here, next int, then press enter key. So I need to input something here, 45, enter, press enter key. Now we have a variable called $9, a scratch variable in that 45 saved. Okay, next what I do here, int. Now I go here with the num2, this equal to write object scan dot next int. Okay, I go with this and I'm trying to get the next integer. So now what happens? I should give a value here, 50. I'm getting num2 equal to 50. Then I want to print both the things. So how I do here? I can go with the system dot. Okay, this is here, system dot, then out dot print. Followed by here, I can give the $9, then plus I can go here with the like num2. Okay, so num2 is the named variable, whereas $9 is actually a scratch variable. I created here two variables. Now when I press enter key here, it should print 95. So all things are working. Now I can incorporate this in the in my code, in my application, I can incorporate. Okay, now come to this here, try to read data. How do we read data? We need to read data using scanner object. Okay, for that purpose, first of all, we need to here see, look at the structure. Very first line is what here? Package third. Okay, package third, here a folder is created. So in that folder, we have a package called simple.java. Okay, sorry, sample.java we have here. Whatever file name you gave, with the same file name, the class is getting created. And this is what exactly a public class. Now let us create here a like scanner object. So for that purpose, you need to go here with the import. What we need to import here? Java dot followed by util dot star. All the package, all the classes from that I want to import. So import java dot util dot star. This is going to be importing all public classes which are available in the util package. Java is a package. In that you have a sub package called util, and in that util class you have predefined classes. One of the class is what here? Scanner class. So let me create here now the required object. Scanner. Okay. Then write here object scan equal to here new followed by scanner. Okay. So here system.in I should put. Now what happened here? I created here a scanner object. Okay. Now I want to read some data for them. First I take for this int n1 comma n2. I'm declaring here two variables. One is n1, other one is n2. Okay, I'm declaring two variables n1 comma n2. Now let me read data into n1 and n2. So first of all, you need to put a prompt system dot and out dot println. Okay, enter first number. Enter first number. Okay, then what we should do? We should read that right here n1 equal to object scan, then dot here next int. Okay, I can go here with the next int. With the help of that, I'm reading it. Similarly, you can go with the next variable. Okay, we need to read the next variable from the scanner object. So here write system.out.println. So enter second number. Here what we do, n2 equal to object scan dot next. Now we need to print the result here. Okay, you write here like int third variable name. This is third equal to, write it as n1 plus n2. Then let us print the value here. Right, this is system dot, then out dot println, followed by here we give the third. Like this we are going to print the result. Okay, so this much code you need to write, but I mean, if something goes going wrong, your effort may be wasted. So instead of that, using JS shell, you can first of all evaluate those things. If they are working fine, you can incorporate like this. Now let me execute this here. What will happen? See. Okay, enter first number. I enter 10. Then it says enter second number. Enter something like 56. So result must be 66 for us. So like this program is working for us. We read data from keyboard. Then what we do? We are trying to print them here. Okay, the sum of them we are trying to print here. So using scanner object, we can read data from the keyboard. For that purpose, you need to create here a reference variable. First of all, scanner object scan equal to new scanner system.in. So this is referring here keyboard. So like this, we created a sample program, and when you see the result, expected result we are getting. So like this, you can use the here the scanner class, as well as here it is a println also. So using println, you can print something on the monitor. There are two methods. One is print, other one is println. If you go with the print, cursor is going to be remaining in the same line. But when you go with the println, cursor goes into next line. After printing this one, it comes to next line. But if you go with the print, it's going to remain in the same line. So let me, okay, but here automatically this is coming fine. So this is here I put system dot out dot println. Here the result is, I can write here, the result is, okay, the result is something like this. I specify here string. When I execute it, what happens? See, so just let me clear this and run this one. First one is like 30. Next one is here 67. Okay, what it says, result is 97, it says. So result is coming in one line, 97 is coming in the next line. Instead of that, if I go with the print, what happens? See here. Instead of that, if I go with the print, what do we get? Let us see in this. So once again, execute. Enter first number, enter something 24. Second number, enter 67. Now see the result. The result is 91. Now they are coming in the same line, because when you go with the system.out.print, cursor remains in the same line. After printing this, it's remaining in the same line. But when you go with the println, cursor moves into next line after printing the string there. So like this, you can use print as well as println methods. Okay. So we continue the next session. More stuff I'm going to add. Just go through this video again and again. Try to understand. You have any questions?